At fullback, the very impressive Paul Wellens on the wings. We saw Brian Carney, an outstanding season for the Newcastle Knights in our NRL, and on the other flank is Gareth Rayner. The centres, there is a change. No Martin Gleeson tonight, so the experienced Keith Senior will be partnered by the youngster from Hull, Kirk Yeaman. High hopes for him. He has already been scouted by South Sydney, and a lot of people believe that he has a big future in our game. Now, the man we were just talking about, Leon Price, on the flank last week, comes into the number 6 jersey tonight. That sees him partner his St Helens teammate, Sean Long, in the halves. The forward pack has Sean O'Loughlin, outstanding last week. A real workaholic, this kid. Keep an eye on the 13th. And the 2 Gareths in the second row, Ellis and Hock. Now up front, Adrian Morley has been pushed onto the bench. That sees Stuart Fielden, Terry Newton and the skipper, Jamie Peacock, pushed up to the head of the engine room. Little bit of a surprise there. Their bench tonight, James Raby, outstanding hooker interchange. Adrian Morley in 15, Lee Gilmore, John Wilkin, and their coach is Brian Noble.
Always a good side, Vossi. At fullback, a young player in terrific form, Carmichael Hunt. On the wings, a lot of experience with Brent Tate and the amazing Greg Inglis. I hope he moves back to fullback at times tonight. The centres, well, we've got the best centre in the business, the best in the world in Mark Gazia. And Jamie Lyon, as we said, he's back after creating a huge reputation for himself in St Helens in England. Now the halves, what a player, the skipper Darren Lockyer, who's joined by a test debutant. Benny Hornby's in the 7 tonight. Good luck for him. The back row's a beauty. Luke O'Donnell, he just gets better and better. Big Willie Mason returns, that's a bonus. And Nathan Highmarsh, how many tackles will Highmarsh make tonight? 30, 40, 50, who knows? Up front, well, up front, we've got the Shrek, Mark O'Mealy, with the Brisbane duo who are in great form. Sean Berrigan and Big Petro Sivanasiva. The bench tonight is a strong one for the Australian side. Cameron Smith, he's a key man after 20 or 30 minutes. Anthony Tupou, Brent Kite, Sam Thaiday. The coach, of course, is Ricky Stewart.
It'll be Sean Long to get us underway. Ashley Klein referee, and game 4 is underway here at Aussie Stadium. The Kangaroos against the old foe. And Luke O'Donnell takes the first hit up. Runs into the clutches there of Gareth Ellis. And Sean O'Loughlin, Serlo was right about his game last week. He really worked hard, the lock forward for Great Britain. Sivanasiva takes it up number 2. Waiting for him was Newton and also Fielden. Now Hornby gets his first touch. Lockyer feeds on quickly for Mason. Back in this week. Missed the match 2 weeks ago in Melbourne. Berrigan starting hooker tonight. Hindmarsh with it. Taken low down in the tackle of Yeaman, this young centre. On debut for Great Britain. And now O'Mealy. Coming off a short run up that time. Takes us to tackle number 5. The Aussies outside the 40. Hornby, he dwelt. He got his kick in. Trapped there by Brian Carney. And Carney comes back with a full head of steam. Berrigan was first chaser down there. O'Donnell got him. So Leon Price goes as 5'8" tonight. Keith Senior in the centres. The reshuffle to the Great Britain backline. Played their best football in the last 20 minutes last week against New Zealand. Bring back to the 40 with Price. O'Donnell there with Berrigan. Now Terry Newton. Peacock, the captain. We saw last week his offloading skills. That will be a worry for the Australian defenders. Now Newton. Sean Long, left foot kick. Was deflected on the way through. Calling for it as Carmichael Hunt. He's with it. He's got his Broncos teammate in support, Brent Tate. And a good tackle by Yeaman. And now for Gaznia. Kangaroos 2 from 2. Good performance first up over in Auckland. Lucky to win game 2 in Melbourne. Hindmarsh now. They've had the layoff. They come into the game fresh. And just with a rejigging of their side. Lockyer inside with O'Donnell. O'Loughlin there again with Fielden. Now Loughlin's work rate is high. He will play around about 65 or 70 minutes of the match as well. Now Berrigan centre field for Hornby from the St George Illawarra club, kicking it and got it past Rayner. And Gareth Rayner watched it go touch in goal.
He did well there, the Hull winger. We talk about Australia coming into this game fresh. We also said last week that this Great Britain side should get better as the tour goes on. A number of their players hadn't played for a few weeks, an extra week on the training paddock. And their starter's been quite positive. There's some heavy stuff there from Willie Mason on Fielden.
And Mason has a bit to say as well. He gives Fielden a spray, heard every word. Newton. And now there's a punch up in back plate. Is Mason with Fielder. As Hindmarsh makes the tackle. Peacock's in there with Mason. Hello, we've wound the clock back. It's 1970 all over again. We're at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Little Tommy Bishop's in there somewhere.
Well, there's actually an opportunity in the lead up to that get-together by the two teams with Terry Newton getting out of dummy half, and then Fielden and Mason come together. Mason will be penalised for throwing the first punch, and he didn't miss, Willie Mason. Adrian Morley would love to be out there.
It was an impassive reaction. Impassive on the bench. Willie is still wound up. He's delivering a sermon, Willie Mason.
Well, he's about to be penalised. He won't have a lot to say then.
Ray!
Still trying to get him out.
Don't talk to them. Willie, stand up and listen to this report. Stand up and listen to this report.
We've got this player here who's overreacted to a push by a British player, throwing a punch, overreacted.
Okay, you got that, Willie. Don't take it into your own hands. It's going against you, all right? Just calm him down, Darren, all right?
Short and sweet from Ashley Klein.
Yeah, it is, but still, Stuart Fielden, I mean, he's got exactly what he deserved there. If you're going to push, you've got to keep your guard up. And if you're going to throw one, it's no good throwing a half-hearted one. Mason gave him what he deserved.
So Great Britain will go on the attack as a result of the penalty. 35 metres out. Long goes out for Price, on for O'Loughlin. Let's go down to Matt Johns. He's ringside tonight.
Look, I tell you, Adrian Morley might want to be out there, but I'm Brian Noble. I'm glad he's not. He doesn't want to be involved with that sort of stuff early.
Now Ellis with the ball. Another penalty to Great Britain. This is 25 metres out.
Come all the way.
Almost right in front. I don't think they win it in twos tonight.
Oh, this is a really good positive side from the Lions. Taking the quick tap, Newton on to Peacock, the captain. 15 out, met by 3 in the green and gold.
Hindmarsh came heavy over the top. He didn't miss. Now Newton across field, long, out for Price, looking dangerous, straightens up, ball on the deck, scooped up by Wellens, no try. Penalty to the Kangaroos.
He needed an early pass there. He needed an early pass, Price. He's a creative player, but sometimes I doubt his vision. He should have thrown the pass wide there. They had 2 men out on the outside, but instead Dummied went to the line, looked for the short ball, and that's the part of his vision that stops him from being a truly great 5'8".
Yeah, I'm not sure if Price is a creative player. I think he's a finisher. I still think even for St Helens, he's an outside player forced to play in close to the ruck.
Looking to see Willie Mason take his next touch of the ball there. Hornby got well and truly cleaned up by O'Loughlin. They come out wide for Hunt. Lockyer there on his left, into the clutches of Price. They're 8 metres inside the Great Britain half. Senior involved in the tackle. So too was Fielden. Berrigan takes them to centre ground. Got away from O'Loughlin at first attempt. He's in there again, the number 13 with Senior. Senior adopted the wheelbarrow position there. Hornby, Carmichael Hunt. Sandwich between 2 Great Britain defenders, and a little conspicuous by his absence in this set is Willie. He's out on the right side. Hornby steadies for the bomb. It's a shocker. It'll come down about a metre from behind where he kicked it. Tate gets it back in field. Gasnier. Gus always says, beware the second kick. Rayner puts it on the boot. And Ashley Klein got the chasers offside. Klein has kicked it out of Aussie Stadium. Gareth Rayner.
The first kick was a shocker from Hornby, but how often do we see a bad kick then lead to a good play? Gasnier gets it on the toe, Tate marginally in front of him, and that was the penalty to Great Britain. That man Hornby under a lot of pressure tonight, taking the place of Jonathan Thurston. A lot of people believe Thurston should still be the number 7. I'm one of them. I'm not saying that Hornby isn't a bad player. He might be man of the match tonight, but you've got to deserve your number 7 jersey in the Australian side.
Eamon takes the tap. Referee Klein and touch judges got it right. Tate was offside in front of Gasnier when he kicked the ball. So Great Britain back in possession, and Hock taken over the top there by Nathan Hindmarsh, short of the 40. Now Newton, flat pass there for Field, and Hindmarsh is physical tonight. He leads the tackle count already. He's been involved in half a dozen. Out for Long, cut-out ball along for O'Loughlin, and then for Price. Taken low down in the tackle of Hornby, just short of halfway. O'Loughlin will kick this time. Sends it down a 10-metre corridor close to the touchline. Hunt's with it. Senior has come through to make the tackle. So Australia start the set 10 metres out from their own line.
And Keith Senior tonight has actually moved over to right centre. Played left last week, but with Martin Gleeson out and Newman coming into the side, he's moved to accommodate the whole youngster. Jamie Lyons, second pass off the play the ball, tackle centre field, 28 out from his own line.
Coming up against a number of his former St Helens teammates tonight, half a dozen of them. Australians in centre field. Hornby, 26 years of age, makes his test debut tonight wearing the number 7. Been a little nervous his start. Here's Mason. Nice charge, taken low down by Peacock. Last tackle, 5 short of halfway. Here is Hornby again. This time he had a fair bit of time on his hands to place the kick, but a little too much on it. And a 20-minute restart for the Lions.
The Australian kicking game will just need to adapt to the conditions. A couple of big bounces. We have had rain in Sydney today, so there's probably a little bit of greasy surface to blame for that as well. We've already put 2 dead as Carney finds some space in behind the play the ball. Hindmarsh
get involved with Berrigan. Great Britain, a little flow of possession, get their 3rd penalty of the night. 9 minutes in.
Well, their first penalty down this area of the field, they worked a couple up, went left side to Price, and he had numbers over. Be interesting to see if they go that way again. Their best chance of beating Australia is to score points. They've got to move the ball to do that.
Now Keith Senior passes up for O'Loughlin. Front on in defence, Luke O'Donnell. Similar players, the roles they play for their teams, the 2 lock forwards, O'Donnell and O'Loughlin. Now Newton, away for Peacock. Ran straight there at Sivanasiva and O'Mealy, the 2 Kangaroos front rowers. Newton, he runs always a few steps at a dummy half before passing. Treatment has delivered that time. O'Mealy and Lockyer on field, and he's hurt the tackle as well. I don't think he's well since the punch from Willie Mason. And now Mason has cleaned up Long after the kick. Sean Long is on the deck. That was after a tackle by Willie Mason. It wasn't high, I just think he got him off balance.
Well, his teammates were claiming there was an illegality, but no touch judge came in. Sean Long, not on the last tackle, kicks. Well, he has got him high.
The report from the field that he is cut.
Yeah, got you.
He is bleeding from a facial wound.
And this is something that the video referee can have a look at if it's deemed to be foul play.
Willie Mason!
He might be lucky to stay on here, Willie.
No, I'm not.
Tim Mander, video referee tonight.
Willie?
Really having some trouble with his hearing tonight.
Yeah. Restart. Okay. What's happened there? That he's got him high. So we're going to put this one on report, and we're going to start with the penalty. Willie, come on, mate.
4-1 penalty count now, 10 minutes in.
That's an interesting caution, Willie. Come on, mate. I don't think Willie's mates with anyone out there at the moment.
Sean Long's back on his feet. He's had the treatment. Yeah, forearm, more on the back of the head, side of the head. Chance though for Great Britain. No scorers yet, but they are in the attacking zone. Here is Long out for O'Loughlin. Hornby got up. But Jamie Lyon, 12 away from the line. That penalty count, in fact, 5-1 to Great Britain. Newton, centre field to Stuart Fielden. You're watching the action live on Channel 9. You'll see Australia up in Brisbane in 2 weeks' time, exclusive on Channel 9. Now the ball with Gareth Ellis. Try last week for them. Would love one tonight against the green and gold. Newton across with Long. Fires it out there for Price. Brings his fullback in Wellens. Great take there by Rayner. That's a terrible ball to get. Out on the wing. He did well. Back for Long. Last tackle. Long's kick. He'll get this one to just in front of the goal line on the fly for Inglis. Senior there makes the tackle.
Well, again, England or Great Britain rather, outnumbered Australia down the left-hand side of the field, but the pass was poor. Last time Price didn't pass. This time they actually got it there, but it was a bad pass. Here's the tackle from Senior on Inglis. Gets a little bit too long with it, and the referee penalises. They just can't find the right pass, Great Britain, out on the edges at the moment.
One of the more experienced players out of the Super League, Keith Senior. And indeed at test level as well. Here's Sivanasiva. Hard worker. His match tally into the 30s now for the season on the back of Broncos and Queensland Origin commitments. O'Mealy got a forward pass from Berrigan. Kangaroos make an error inside their 40.
He could have been pulled up 2 or 3 times earlier in this game. Berrigan gets very lazy out of dummy half with his pick up and pass, particularly to the forward looking to hit the advantage line with momentum, and he does it quite often.
Scrum 35 metres out, and O'Loughlin sprints off from the base, tackled by Carmichael Hunt. 32 metres from the line. Newton again, there he goes for that run across field before passing. Wellens up into play, looking forward to him getting some space tonight. The Great Britain fullback, here's Peacock, turns as he gets to the line, taken low down by Berrigan. Again, they're inside the Kangaroos 20. Long, extending left for Price, dummy and run from Leon Price, back for Long. They will come back to the right. It comes out now for Ellis. He's with the ball 15 metres out, had the right arm free and held in the tackle of O'Donnell. Still on for Great Britain, Newton. O'Loughlin, on it comes for Fielden. He was caught flat-footed. He put a fend on Mason. Mason gets to him again with Hindmarsh. Last tackle. And they come to the left side. Newton darts out. The Australian defence is waiting as one brick wall. I don't think that's the way you're going to come up with points.
If Terry Newton throws a face pass or a second-man pass, they score out wide, 2-on-1. That's the problem for Great Britain at the moment. They don't have a very creative halfback or a particularly creative dummy half. Sean Long really needs to take control of this attacking game for his team.
Mark Gaston in distress at the moment. Matthew John sideline.
Look, Vossi, it's been a feisty start to the game, but it might go to a new level. Adrian Morley is about to come onto the field. I'm looking forward to this. Here we go.
14 minutes in, and they've called on Moz. Adrian Morley. O'Donnell slips into a tackle there. Gareth Ellis made the job easy for him. Morley, look at him. They've let him out of the cage, Adrian Morley. Berrigan back for Hornby. Kicks for the corner. Wellens has cut it off.
And let me tell you, Adrian Morley knows who number 11 for Australia is. He'll be looking for Willie Mason straight away.
Wellens got back to the 30. Morley still waits to come on. They'll get him on now. So Great Britain in possession, 35 metres out from their own line. As Rayner has come in centre field to take a dash, held up by Hindmarsh and Mason, just short of halfway. As Adrian mentioned in the lead up to the game, the piece by Tim Sheridan, this is home ground for 6 years. With the Roosters, Price kicking this time. Hunt's got it well and truly covered inside his 10. Morley's the first man down there. Hunt runs away from him, gets away from Newman, and tackled 5 metres away from the line by Hock. And tidy play the ball from Carmichael Hunt. Now Brent Tate had to duck into that tackle of Morley. He certainly went no higher than just below the neck. To be fair, now Mason. Taken low down by Long. And a second tackle by Newman. And the Great Britain side penalised. O'Mealy now to the bench. Anthony Tupou goes into the action.
That little indiscretion from the number 4 really undid some good work. Sean Long has come up with some nice bootlace tackles out there on Willie Mason. That was another one. In fact, it may well have been Long who came in for the second touch.
And it's an early entry for Anthony Tupou. It was probably the 60th minute mark.
Let's just hold there, Adrian.
In his debut when he got onto the field.
Go.
So Australians with it, Hornby. And a little shift of numbers. They've put Kite into 15, Tupou in 16. Kite's come on. So he's ready. 45 metres out from the line. Hornby with it. Out it comes for O'Donnell. Puts a nice little step there on Price. And was quick to get to his feet as well, looking for that play the ball. Berrigan Show of the ball to Kite. Got it away for Hindmarsh. First time Kangaroos have got to this part of the field for a while since that dusty kick we saw from Hornby. Berrigan takes them inside the 20. Now they're ready. Lockyer calling for it. First receiver, right side. Dummy of the ball to Sivanasiva through a questionable pass that was put down. Comes unstuck for the Kangaroos.
That's good defence. Solid defence. Short ball. And on the fringe of the ruck, Hock and Peacock combined. Paul Wellens, he's happy that his teammates got the job done up front.
If he uses Mason as a decoy there, Lockyer, Carmichael Hunt had 3-on-1 around the outside. He'll put that in the memory bank. They'll get him next time.
Tri-Nations Rugby League live on Channel 9 from Aussie Stadium. Great way to spend Saturday night. Ben Ikin's sideline as well tonight, Ben.
Yeah, look, the Pommies came into this game wanting to play a bit of biff and barge, full of emotion. And that's the type of game they want the Aussies to play. But the Aussies have to be smart. Gus spoke about the Kangaroos being tactically superior. Well, their tactics are only going to work if they stick to their game plan. That last set of 6 was much better from the Roos.
Now Lachlan comes back in field, got a pass away. Senior's with it. Got a fend on Hornby. Senior comes back to centre field. Great tackle by Sivanasiva. Nailed his man. Newton goes left and Hock forced back in field. Put a good fend in there on Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh did well to hang on. That Sivanasiva tackle was a classic on Senior. Long will kick from inside the 40. Trusty left boot. They're looking for more from Sean Long tonight than was delivered last week against the Kiwis. Inglis just jogged back that time. What a try it was a fortnight ago. In fact, 2 tries. 1 in each half from Greg Inglis against New Zealand. Really excited the crowd. His Lion tackled by Peacock. Now Anthony Tupou gets his chance. So Gussie didn't have to wait long. Carmichael Hunt hit hard in the tackle of Ellis. 5 metres inside the Lions half. Lockyer decides to extend out right. Gasnier didn't quite get the room there to put the step. A little bit of trouble for Sivanasiva. He's gone off to the dressing room for the Kangaroos. Lockyer infield. Kite, quick hands, good play. Now O'Donnell. Lions in support on the outside. O'Donnell's ball went forward. He looked left and then passed inside. Gasnier's no good. So there's real trouble. He's going off on the eastern side of the ground. All is not well with the Kangaroos.
No, it's not. But all's not well in the Great Britain side either. They're starting to walk in defence as Cameron Smith loosens up to come into the game. Australia have gone to their interchange bench early in this one, but Great Britain are really starting to walk. And as the Aussies promote the pass, they're finding gaps out on the edges. It only looks a matter of time before they crack them.
He's very tender, Mark Gasnier. Of course, late in the season, he did pick up an injury around the hip area for St George Illawarra. Kept him out of 1 week. And it's only a simple tackle, but when you are prone to an injury that you picked up in recent weeks, it only takes something simple for it to recur. Yeoman picks up 10 metres close to the 30.
Well, there'll be a big reshuffle right now with the Australian side. Quite possible that Berrigan will go from hooker to centre. Wouldn't have happened in Noel Kelly's day back on the 63 Kangaroo tour. If they said go to the centres, Ned, he would have said, you're kidding me.
Well, tonight is the first time that Sean Berrigan has played a test match at hooker, mostly in the centres. Forward pass out of dummy half, this time from Great Britain.
Still, I'll tell you what they have done right at the moment. Hornby went back to fullback. Carmichael Hunt went out to right wing, and it sort of suggests that Cameron Smith went into the halves with Lockyer.
Well, he has plenty of options, Ricky Stewart. We've seen Cameron Smith very successful once he's played a dummy half role for the Melbourne Storm, slotting out 1 or 2 passes. Berrigan gives you options.
Well, that would be an extraordinary change if that's the way they're gone, and that's the way it appears.
Oh, Tate had to dive out in front of him, and they've got the fumble from Brent Tate. He doesn't like it. He thought he'd come up with a classic catch.
Thrown out in front by Lockyer. Yeah, it looks like he's caught it there on that vision, doesn't it?
I think the referee might have got a call from the far touch judge.
I don't trust a lot of footballers, but I trust Brent Tate with my life. He doesn't tell fibs. He's a good boy.
Great Britain with the ball. Paul Wellens taken across field and really ridden into ground. So the redeployment of the troops, if you like, for the Kangaroos has got them with Cameron Smith defending at left centre at the moment. Carmichael Hunt on the left wing. As Great Britain get yet another penalty.
I would find it extraordinary if the cover for an outside back is to move your half back to fullback. I just don't understand that at all.
Let's hold. Come on, Willie, got to hold. Let's hold.
I don't understand that at all.
Great Britain on the attack. O'Loughlin with the ball. Sivanasiva returns from the dressing room. Doesn't appear to be hindered by any injuries on that shot. Price now gets another run. He's a good mover, Leon Price. Held up in the tackle of Berrigan. 19 metres from the line. Newton away. On it goes for Morley. He had support there if he could pass it to Ellis. They're only 6 metres away from the line right now, Great Britain. Really putting some pressure on the Kangaroos. Juggled there by Gareth Hock. He's forced to go sideways and backwards and then put Kirk Edmund under all sorts of pressure.
This is what we saw a lot last week from the Great Britain side. There's a lot of ball movement, but not a lot threatens the opposition. And when you're playing world-class players like the Australians, they just read it so simply and they can attack with their defence. Gasnier in the dressing room. I think he hurt that earlier in the game.
So Gus, we can get an update from Matthew Johns on Mark Gasnier.
Yeah, it's pretty serious, guys. At the moment, if you remember the back half of the year, Gasnier carried a hip problem. We will reveal it's the hip problem again. How serious it is, we're not sure. We'll find out more shortly.
Now Carmichael Hunt with the ball. And he's back to the 30 for the Kangaroos. No score, 23 minutes gone. In this fourth game of the Tri-Nations, Tupou with it. A stumbling run as he got to O'Loughlin and Senior. O'Loughlin leading the Great Britain tackle count. He's up to 13. Hindmarsh top of the pops for the Kangaroos with 17. Mason in traffic. Senior's there with Fielden. That battle will continue throughout the night. Now Berrigan on for Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith starting off the bench tonight, now thrown into the match in the halves. They're on halfway, the Kangaroos. Berrigan looks to kick, got it away under the attention there of Newton. Wellens is back in goal. Lockyer's leading the chase. Wellens puts on a spurt and gets back to the 10-metre line. Kite there. First man through to make the tackle. So Great Britain ball with Gareth Rayner.
The Great Britain at the moment need to get their backs involved in the attack here. Looking very tired, some of the forwards. Brian Carney went 40 metres to get into dummy half to pick up 5. There's Mark Gasnier in distress in the sheds. There's Adrian Morley, his first touch in attack, takes it to the 30.
And a quick play the ball as well. Hock gets another run. It was very damaging running down the left side last week. Again back for Morley, who just played it. Berrigan had him. They got through the tackle count pretty quickly, the British side that time. Kick floating down there to Hornby. So the St George Illawarra utility proves his value tonight. And is tackled outside the 30. Not sure whether Carmichael Hunt's too pleased about getting shifted to the left wing and all of that.
I can't believe you start a test match with a halfback and then move him to cover a centre who's got injured. Surely the only reason you replace a halfback is if the half got injured. It's a test match.
The Australians are 48 metres out from the line. Berrigan, just threw it to the right-hand side and put down by Smith.
So you're playing players out of position. It's going to affect coordination. Not only that, with Carmichael Hunt moving from fullback, that's one of Darren Lockyer's big weapons. So you've lost your fullback attack that's been practiced with all week to replace a centre who's laying on the bench. If anything, Hornby probably should have come off the bench tonight and Thurston should be in the team.
And from a look at that shot in the Australian dressing room, you wouldn't think that Mark Gasnier would be coming back into action tonight. Very tender. Might consider having a needle or two, but something on the point of the hip. It's very difficult to mask the pain there as Yeoman slips it to Senior.
Senior with the ball gets inside the 40. Got away from Hunt. So Great Britain get a roll on. Mason got across there. Carney, centrefield. Newton. On it comes with Ellis. Cameron Smith, he's bleeding from the nose after dropping that pass. It got him right on the button, the ball. It's all a bit embarrassing for Cameron. Sean Long goes out to the left. O'Loughlin passes for Hogg. Had to be collected high there by Lyon. 15 metres out from the line. Great Britain, yet another chance. Fielden getting it, not quite getting the quality ball he wants from his dummy half tonight. His runs have been checked a number of times.
James Roby on a dummy half, he's dangerous.
10 metres out from the line. Long is with it, probing kick, Hornby doesn't take any chances. Takes it over the dead ball line. Cassier's now on the floor of the dressing room. Watch Cameron Smith this ball. Gets him off the hand into the nose. And from that moment on, he's been tending to a bloodied nose. Ben Icon's sideline.
Yeah, look, I just want to say one thing about the Pommies. I think they need to get a bit smarter around the ruck, have a little bit more variety with their big forwards before they go wide. Because if they do and they can get this Aussie defence on the back foot, I think Leon Price and Sean Long could really open them up. And by the way, don't write off Matt Gasnier. He could be back.
Live on Channel 9 tonight, Game 4 of the Tri-Nations, and Sean Long went straight under the leg. Gareth Rayner able to pick it up and ran back into Nathan Hindmarsh. 40 metres away from the line. I don't think anyone expected this. 27 minutes and no score. Mason came up for a big tackle. Didn't quite get it on Morley. Now James Roby, good player, plays behind Kieran Cunningham and Sean Long at St Helens, so has to come off the interchange bench, but he's formed good enough to make the national side. Senior got away from Mason with a big step. 21 tackles now inside the Kangaroos 20, and they are storming now the Great Britain side. Roby dummy half, 4 metres from the line, back for Long, intercept on Hornby. Ben Hornby's away, now links up, Inglis the freak, Carney is chasing, Inglis will get there. The Kangaroos have come up with a 100-metre try. Fourth test try, and only his third test, it's 4-0. Live on Channel 9, Tri-Nations Rugby League, and the Kangaroos open the scoring for a 4-0 lead.
And very little involvement or opportunities tonight for Greg Inglis, but he only needed one. Ben Hornby took the intercept, realised he might not have the pace, and he saw a flyer to his left. Greg Inglis going 90, maybe 80 metres to give Darren Lockyer a simple conversion. And Mark Gasnier warming up in the race, possibly may come back into this game with his team now leading 6-0.
Body language from that shot perhaps suggests he won't.
They just can't find the right pass, the Great Britain side. And Australia stormed up in defence there, Hornby up in the line, got it onto the flyer. Inglis shut the gate. I'm not sure that Hornby was onside. I'd like to see a picture of him on the try line. But once they gave it to that man, it was put down the glasses. He could have won the straight six. He could have won the Salinger at Flemington today.
Again, too much sideways work tonight from Great Britain. They looked dangerous in that set of 6 after quick play the balls from Adrian Morley and Keith Senior. Really need to set it up that way, and they won't have to throw long cut-out passes. It's Siva Nasiva now. Confidence from the points as we go into the final 10 minutes of this first half.
6-0 scoreline. Kangaroos, you saw that stat though, time in opposition 20, just one tackle for the Kangaroos. Now Cameron Smith went to dummy half that time. Now troubles with Brian Carney, that was in the chase, he pulled up in pursuit of Greg Inglis.
Yeah, Lee Gilmore is playing on the right wing. He came on last week and crunched in defence. Now if he's well versed with playing on the right wing for his team, as Paul Wellens has to cover some ground. Kick finds touch only a metre out.
Great stuff from Cameron Smith. Matthew John sideline.
With the news on Mark Gasnier, they're taping him up in the sheds at the moment. Apparently he's going to be back. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how effective he's going to be. Look, on Brian Carney, it's a real double blow for Great Britain. He gave chase to Greg Inglis and actually pulled his hamstring. That's a real blow for them.
And the Australians sensibly have changed. Cameron Smith has now gone to hooker. Hornby has gone to halfback. Berrigan has gone to left centre. And Jamie Lyon's gone to right centre, and Carmichael Hunt back to fullback. Now that makes sense.
There's 2 hands on it, Leon.
They've got it right. Now O'Loughlin runs at Carmichael Hunt. So normal transmission is resumed here. And the ball with Lee Gilmore. And Gilmore again, Hindmarsh is involved in the tackle. His tackle count tonight now 22, Nathan Hindmarsh. He's half a dozen clear of the next best, Sean Berrigan. Poor play by Great Britain from Gareth Hogg. And the Kangaroos come up with possession. And Hindmarsh says, let me run. I'm sick of this tackling, give me the ball. Taken there by Yeaman. Kangaroos to centre field. Brent Kite, he's been really good for the Kangaroos in the first 2 matches of the series. In particular in Auckland, really made a difference. Hornby, Lockyer, out it comes for Hunt. We know the play well over the top. Berrigan, Broncos triple right there. They're 11 metres from the line. Ellis got across there. Hunt, centre field, Lockyer on for Sivanasiva, then Hornby, set play, there's an overlap right side. Hornby looks to find it with a kick, and just a little too strong. The cameramen are cleaned up. Tate's gone, Rayner's gone, and look at the cameraman, he still gets a shot. The photographer. Wonderful dedication.
He took a bullet for the team. A little bit too close to the action. Here they come, the troops. Kabang! Dominoes.
So if there's a blurred photo on the back page of the sports section tomorrow morning, you'll know why. That was the shot. And Great Britain back in possession. Kick was definitely on though for Hornby. Couldn't get the pass there. Thought if the kick was well weighted. Tate was ready. Now Roby, good ball. Sean Long goes through. Held up, but only just by Berrigan. 40 metres from the line. Roby is making a difference straight away. Tackle 30 metres from the line. Last tackle it is, in fact.
Okay.
Great Britain with O'Loughlin kicking to the wing of Inglis. It's played out there by Gilmore.
Double knock on.
And put down.
First one's off Great Britain, so I'll bring it out.
And it will be a changeover.
Gilmore.
Gilmore making the first knock on.
Again, some good ground made by the Great Britain side, going straight. Out of dummy half, in behind the ruck area. Not a great kick on the end of it, as O'Donnell does well and to attract some defenders. Very important tackle made by Sean Berrigan on Sean Long, who was away.
Now Smith, centre field, Sivanasiva. And taken low down by Hock. Cameron Smith, Hindmarsh. Gets it over the 30 for the Kangaroos. Just the one try this first half. Intercept from Hornby, sending Inglis on his way. Lockyer, as they work right. Jamie Lyon hasn't seen a great deal of football. Still the dramas continue in the dressing room for Mark Gasnier. Tate, there was a run around the back there of Hunt. Penalty, Great Britain. 7-3 penalty count.
There'll be no argument from the Australians on that one. Great Britain player did do very well to make sure it was completely obvious to the referee. Just a little bit of a breakdown there as Mark O'Mealy is not eating the interchange card, just signalling he is number 5 for the evening.
Now Morley,
Take it back.
he was hoping for a run from the tap restart. Little false start there for Yeaman.
He didn't take it yet.
Like he's trying to cheat a bit of distance in a throw-in in the football in the Premier League. Come out for Ellis. Cut down on the tackle there, Tupou. In his second test tonight, the Roosters forward. Now Fielden. Held in the two-man tackle, Sivanasiva and Kite. This is Roby. Sean Long has asked a few questions tonight, a dummy. Got around Lockyer inside, here they come. The Lions have scored. Paul Wellens gets the try. Great Britain on the board. It is 6-4 Tri-Nations on Channel 9. Live on Channel 9 from Aussie Stadium, and a former Super League Player of the Year sets up a try for the current Super League Player of the Year.
And this is what the Great Britain side were looking for from Sean Long. Jamie Lyon coming up out of the defensive line, opening up a corridor for Sean Long to slip through, and Paul Wellens did very well to back up on the inside. Some nice footwork from Long to beat Darren Lockyer, but with the fact that Jamie Lyon had gone up quicker than the inside men, that man on screen was able to put his side across for their first points of the evening. It looked as though the Australians may be getting on top late in this first half. Well, this kick should be little problem for the number 7. And that may signal a 6-all scoreline at half-time. Sets up a great second 40.
Sean Long now 30 years of age. Wellens, the try scorer, 6-all scoreline. Matthew Johns.
Yeah, I think this could be a career-defining game for Sean Long. I played a lot of football against him in England. I tell you what, he's an absolute superstar over there, but he's never really dominated at this level. Tonight could be the night.
He's had some injuries along the way. He has now just played. This tonight is his 13th Test match of the career. Number of games for England, but 13th time for Great Britain. So Long delivers, and the Lions are in possession, 15 from their line.
And I've mentioned Sean Long a fair bit tonight in commentary, and I'm not picking on him, but the number 7 for a touring team is so important. When you look at the great touring sides, with Tommy Bishop, Roger Millwood, Davey Bolton, they had success on the back of their number 7s. Alex Murphy. Well, Sean Long is at the end of that procession, and there was a lovely touch of class shown by the number 7 there to get his side well and truly back into this game after the Aussies were getting on top.
Kick downfield from Roby, and Hunt came back. He put it into top gear, and Roby made the tackle, but only about 15 metres or so from where he'd kicked it. Out it comes for Tate. Good tackle out wide by Long. He's really on song, the Great Britain halfback. Nathan Hindmarsh, quick switch, line passes without looking for Tate. Tate now almost through the tackle of Yeoman, gets inside the 40. 39 metres out from the Great Britain line. They work to centre field for O'Donnell. Lachlan over the top. Ellis got an interesting hold on the leg. Mason ready to come back on.
The Australians very good at this type of football late in halves when the opposition may just believe that the job has been done.
Tupou got it back for Lockyer after Lockyer had delivered the pass. Last tackle, big play this one. Carmichael Hunt gets the kick through. They've got it covered up. Well done, Lee Gilmore. The makeshift winger saves the day right there.
That is a very big set of 6 in defence for the visitors.
Stay behind.
To score points and then concede them immediately afterwards would have been deflating going into half-time. Well, Lee Gilmore did very well. As we say, he's been pushed onto that wing position to cover the injury of Brian Carney. A slow restart is no surprise from Great Britain.
So line drop out with the Great Britain side. And the Kangaroos will get one last attack as O'Mealy took a charge. It was ferocious. Ellis was waiting. 25 metres from the line. Sends it on for Siva to take a run. Twisted in the field and tackle. Ellis was there again. Smith. They're looking dangerous. They've got Great Britain on the ropes here. Lockyer. There's time running out coming up to half-time. Pass delivered back inside. Lockyer for Hunt. Great hands. Smith now with the ball. 5 metres from the line. Roby's there. O'Loughlin. Wellens. Seconds remaining in the first half.
That should be it.
Half-time siren sounds and Klein says that's it. So a 6-all scoreline. The field goal attempt by Lockyer will not count. It is half-time. 1 try apiece. A 6-all scoreline. Tupou got action early. So too did Kite. They kept Fireday fresh. Great Britain likewise have John Wilkin still on the bench on debut tonight. Second half underway. We are live on Channel 9 from Aussie Stadium.
Well, there was an opportunity to get a penalty from the restart. The British Lions players had have realised in John Wilkin that he only had to step on the line and catch the football. We'd have come back to halfway. Price almost gets through.
So no number Price plays it for Long. He's had that cup tended to at half-time. Now got the head bandage on. The Tupou's got a problem with the right shoulder for the Kangaroos. And Great Britain with the ball. Gareth Ellis been good tonight. Ellis 18 tackles and now 10 hit-ups. That in fact is the leading player in the hit-up count. Now Long taken high by Hindmarsh. It was a grab, not a swinging arm.
Now, I know they turned down an opportunity to score the first point through a penalty, but I just wonder if maybe they might opt to kick the goal here to try and take the lead early in the second half. Nathan Hindmarsh saying, sir, it was just a mistake, and rightly so, but they again go for touch. They go for more.
Nathan, Anthony.
So Great Britain, they come a-charging. 20 metres out from the line. Their supporters here. They're excited, and why not?
Oh, wait.
6-all scoreline. Long.
Hang on.
Price is with it. 10 metres out from the line, away for Yeaman. Yeaman tackled there by Lyon.
Wait.
Early pressure, second half on the Kangaroos. Price. Long on that 10-metre line.
Surrender.
Attack cut down by O'Mealy. And played, and along it comes for Peacock. Has got in goal, the captain. Peacock's over. They will check it by the video referee, but Peacock, he is adamant, he has scored.
They are very confident, especially the man who carried the football, the captain. There was a gap there, it was ordinary defence. It was quite a hole for Peacock to run into. The referee's in pretty good position to rule on that one, although it is on his blind side now, and that shot looks as though Peacock has scored. The right arm still has the football under some control, still next to the body. I think it's benefited the doubt at worst.
I don't know, I think he's lost control of the ball and it's come in contact with the Australian arm. He only rests, he only controls the ball because the Australian arm is there. He doesn't control it of his own volition. He'll actually lose it on the way down. The other shot's better, and I think that there will give evidence that he never really had control of it. To me, he loses it there, and it's held in his grasp by the Australian. Whilst his arm never comes away from the ball, I don't think he's actually got control of the ball. It'll hit, his elbow hits the knee there and comes loose. Now it will touch the Australian on the way down. Oh, yeah, look, maybe benefit of the doubt. I think he's lost control of it, but I won't go crook either way.
You reckon?
At any other point of the field, it'd be
a
probably
knock on.
saying, yeah, knock on, lost control. Tim Mander, it's over to you. This to put Great Britain in front. He says try. It is benefit of the doubt. The captain scores. It is 10 points to 6. 42 minutes in.
And that is quite a big hole there between Sivanasiva and Hindmarsh. The decision not to take the 2 points justified. The Australians will be very disappointed that in the first 2 minutes of this second half, that defensively they weren't stronger on their own line. Another easy conversion for Sean Long. The try scored by his captain.
It was the hand of Nathan Hindmarsh that the ball came into contact with. Long is 2 from 2. They lead by 6. We've got a test match.
He's been good, Roby, hasn't he? James Roby. From the time he came on the field in the first half, they'd be sharper around the dummy half area, and that time after a few decoy plays, he gives it to the initial runner, what they call the lead runner, the man who's running the decoy, and the Australians caught flat-footed. 12-6.
And Adrian Morley with the ball, and Hindmarsh is there with O'Mealy. So 3 into the second half. 12-6 scoreline. I reckon the sun is probably shining on Blackpool Beach tonight.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Once news filters through that Great Britain lead, they'll strip the gear off and dash into the surf.
I bet they don't.
Go for a donkey ride, as Matty Johns revealed before kickoff. Gilmore tackled on the 40 for Great Britain. Long kicks from inside the 40. He's got good distance on it. Carmichael Hunt's there. 10 out from the line. Hunt runs back and runs in over the top of Yeaman. Only had his shoelaces to show for the tackle, Kirk Yeaman. There was a lot of effort there. Now Brent Tate. But limited opportunities for the outside backs tonight for the Kangaroos.
And only a couple of minutes into the second half, Nathan Hindmarsh has gone to the sideline. Willie Mason interchange as Tupu carries the football over the 40 as well as 3 defenders.
Senior there with Price and Ellis. Now Cameron Smith, flat for Sivanasiva, gets to halfway. Half a dozen interchanges for both teams. John Wilkins still fresh for Great Britain. Sam Thaiday likewise for the Kangaroos. They're 40 metres out. Smith running the ball and then kicking. Wellens has got across there. He's got some work here. Wellens with it. And he just dives to ground. Tate made the tackle. Now Rayner. Wilkin is out there for Great Britain, and here he is with a ball, and Wilkin has picked up the St Helens forward, is driven back and offloaded. Now Sean Long, they'll come out of trouble with Morley. Into the tackle of Smith and O'Mealy. Outside the 20, Great Britain in possession. A test match that was ignited early when Mason put one on Stuart Fielden, then put half a dozen on Jamie Peacock. He's also on report for a high tackle and late tackle in the first half, Mason.
That is a superb kick from Sean Long. He got great distance, and normally with that distance, either the fullback or the winger would be able to get it on the full. He was able to get it between the two players and picked up 60 metres from a stationary standing kick.
Berrigan tackled that time. Australians wouldn't be too impressed with their completion rate tonight, as Lockyer now passes out to the right, takes across there, good step, straighten, Lockyer in support, Lyons looming up on the outside, Lockyer kicks for Lyon, Lyon now chasing, Jamie Lyon couldn't get there. Exciting passage of play, Kangaroos just showing what they're capable of.
Watch the athleticism of this man, Darren Lockyer, who throws the long pass out to Tate and then backs up on the inside to make the break. His kick wasn't quite accurate enough. Lyon called for the kick and chase, but that man there handled twice in the movement and trying to inspire his teammates by lifting his own work rate. I've seen him do that before.
Yeah, among many of his skills, a wonderful support player. Darren Lockyer up there with the very best
Easy, guys. Just make
in that department. Scrum 10 out from the Great Britain line, Long senior. If they're to win it, I reckon they're going to be nervous through until about the 80th minute, Great Britain. Ellis, they've had their hearts broken before, as New Zealand did 2 weeks ago down in Melbourne. Back to centre field with Peacock, the try scorer since half-time. Tackled by Sivanasiva and Smith. 30 metres away. Price just able to add a metre or two to that.
Well, they'll need to score more points, there's no doubt about that. Australia will. Despite the fact Great Britain have got a 6-point lead, they've got to build on that. That won't be enough to win this test match.
Carmichael Hunt fielded the long kick, linked straight up with Tate. Tate throws a pass that may have been forward on the outside. English chances few and far between tonight.
Gee, did well there, Lee Gilmore. I mean, he's essentially a back rower nowadays, but he had to hot foot it with Inglis, or Inglis was gone.
Good follow-up run by Tupou for the Kangaroos to halfway. Sivanasiva with it. Got through the tackle of Ellis. He'd been hurt in going up to make the tackle, Gareth Ellis. Now 40 metres away. Hornby for Lockyer. Lockyer brings his man in, Hunt. Out it comes for Lyon. Running there at Long. Good tackle. Not for the first time tonight, Sean Long. Some effective defence out wide. Lockyer, 20 metres out from the line. Able to stand in the tackle. Mason away for Hornby. Hornby straightens up. Ellis was there with O'Loughlin. Last tackle, Kangaroos. Lockyer, 10 metres out, gets the kick through, chasing through Berrigan. And Price is across there. Line drop out, Great Britain.
This is what the Australians are good at, keeping the pressure on. Darren Lockyer going to the line, putting the kick through, forcing the opposition to play at it. Sean Berrigan, his Brisbane teammate, looking for a triple celebration tonight, looking for a try, looking for a test win, as he celebrates his 28th birthday today.
Leon Price defending on the wing there too for Great Britain. That's where he's lining up for this line drop out. So he's gone to the right wing, the man without the number. O'Mealy ready to rumble. Here he comes, Mark O'Mealy. Tackled by Gilmore. 25 metres from the line. Kangaroos, for one of the first times tonight, a little bit of sustained pressure on the Great Britain defence. Down this end of the field. They trail by 6. Sivanasiva gets them inside the 10. Senior and Ellis combine. 8 metres away. Hornby goes deep for Lockyer. Plenty of runners there. Mason puts it down.
Well, he scores if he catches it. I've got no doubt he scores if he catches it. And this is the difference between a scheming 5'8" and one that just creates off the top of his head. Lockyer is a schemer, and he has been taunting the Great Britain defence with use of the decoy runner and then use of the man behind. This time he hits the decoy runner, and Mason was through the line with only Wellens to beat 5 yards out from the line. Look at that, beautiful use of the decoy runner. Hunt around the back is ignored, and Mason would have scored under the post. Beautiful play, unrewarded.
Well, I don't think Paul Wellens was looking forward to the prospect of a tackle on Willie Mason running from 20 metres deep.
I remember the French fullback, Pure Bear, his philosophy. He was good enough to beat 12 in front on no chance. Oh, good shot.
No sign of Pure Bear there. Luke O'Donnell and Seven Receiver. A Kangaroo double on James Roby. Little James had one last look when he saw Luke O'Donnell. Now the kick is deep. Tate fields it 15 metres out from the line for the Kangaroos. Got away from Newman. Rayner there for Great Britain.
Stello's right. I mean, Sean Long has improved his kicking game tonight 100%. It was terrible last week against New Zealand. But he's finding the ground tonight and a little bit more distance.
So 29 minutes remain, and they're 6 in front, and Long has played a big part in it in all facets. Lockyer coming out towards the wing of this man. Inglis has got the ball. He's inside the 40. Links up with Lockyer. That is superb. That is great rugby league. Lockyer, Inglis, Lockyer scores. You're watching it live on Channel 9, and that was sensational. Here at Aussie Stadium on Channel 9, the 4th game in the Tri-Nation series. It's a belter. It's 12 points to 10.
It's about to be 12 points all with the Darren Lockyer conversion to come. An Australian second long-range try tonight. Inglis and Lockyer combining. A lack of confidence by Leon Price on the far wing. Gilmore had the man inside covered. He's a wonderful defender, Gilmore. But Price came in to give Inglis the outside run. As we see the shot from behind of the successful conversion. Australia went wide. It was 2 on 2, but they attracted Leon Price into the play.
It was brilliant stuff. And Lockyer again, great example for young 5'8". He sets the play up from the inside, but keeps himself alive. He did it earlier in the game, or earlier in this half when I highlighted he'd thrown wide to Tate and then backed up. Lockyer, Berrigan onto Inglis. Inglis lines up the fullback. Thoughts of Melbourne, where he bumped Brent Wett off and just ran around to score, but he thought, no, there's me skipper tonight. He's back on the inside. He deserves one. Easy as you please. What a great player this man is.
What a good shot. Just watching him come, assessing the situation, working out in his mind what needed to be done. As we've said, the great players in our game make the difficult look easy. Well, again.
Emili's taken a charge, and he's taken a victim, but Great Britain have come up with a ball.
It's Gilmore.
Gilmore's out down for the count. He thinks he's on Blackpool Beach. He's looking for that donkey. Great Britain's with the ball. 3 metres away. At 12 points all. Price in a dummy half. Back for Long. Comes out the left side. Wilkins got it. The defence there. Lockyer combining with Lyon to centrefield. Long. Peacock. Captain's already got one tonight. Both captains are on the score sheet. 8 metres out from the Long. Look at Gilmore staggering out wide for Great Britain. Roby, Long, they rushed up. It was Mason. Long got away from him. They settle down on tackle number 4. 10 metres from the line. Slow play the ball. Roby, O'Loughlin, he's cut down. That is the last. They would love a big result on this play. At 12 all, Long looking for that kick. He's got it at the goal line. Lyon comes across. He's St Helens teammate.
Terrible set of 6. Really terrible set of 6. And that's the problem technique-wise and ability-wise that Great Britain struggle with. Now they're going to be penalised because they're poor on reset. 2 problems in a row. Poor set of 6. Here's the hit on Gilmore from O'Mealy as he brought the ball up. But that whole set of 6 was so slow, easily contained by Australia. And then they couldn't get back to 10 metres on play 1 and concede the penalty. How many times have we seen Morley do that? O'Mealy do that?
We see Bryce Gibbs
Bryce
through
Gibbs
the
is
season.
the man. Telstra Stadium. It was exactly like that. Let's go down to the sideline. Ben Eichen.
Yeah, I think Bryce Gibbs is going to organise a party for all those blokes that tried to put big shots on Marco Mealy and come off second best. Believe you me, Lee Gilmore has definitely got himself an invite. I've been watching Darren Lockyer for the last 5 or 6 sets. He's really into this game. He's waving his arms around. He's screaming at his troops. I don't know if they can hear him, but believe you me, this bloke's going to another level, and I think his team's about to follow.
12 all. Lockyer, the captain. By the way, he's third on the all-time try scorers list for the Kangaroos, behind the late Ken Irvine and Reg Gasnier. That is elite company. Knock on here by the Kangaroos. It travelled through the air forward. Little low 5 there, Senior and Roby.
Yeah, good pressure defensively on the inside, moving towards the intended receiver. That was Sean Berrigan getting the ball away to Greg Inglis. Another angle. Two great players. Well, one great player and one potentially great player combining.
Good stuff. You're seeing the Channel 9 cameraman in full flight as well, keeping up with a couple of flyers there. Live on Channel 9 tonight. We're really looking forward to 2 weeks' time up at Suncorp Stadium. You'll see it live 2 weeks from tonight. Big crowd there will be at Suncorp Stadium. A lot of Broncos represented. And you'll see it here at 7:30. That will be game number 6 in this Tri-Nation series. Now Peacock with it. Offload, intercept. Kangaroos back in possession. That hurts. Cameron Smith came up with the ball. Now Mason on for O'Donnell. Ran almost past O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin got into a real wrestle for the ball there. Now Smith, Sivanasiva, good metres. There's a few danger signs here for Great Britain. Australia making some easy metres. Mason with the ball. Hornby, Lockyer. Pass went behind Carmichael Hunt. Lockyer had to go for it himself. Senior got him. 35 from the line. Sam Fireday gets a run. Went over the top with Senior. Hair goes everywhere. Now Smith, Lockyer almost lost it. Kicks over well and Teddy stumbled. Try presents itself. Oh, Hornby has been knocked out by Rayner. Oh, this is interesting. He was going to score for sure and has been sent flying by Rayner.
I think there's a couple of things to look at here. Were the chasers onside? Yes, they are. Paul Wellens is wrong-footed. The rest of the Great Britain players on this side, they've dropped off. They didn't see the danger. Odds on to score. A certainty to score here until Rayner gets involved.
Yeah, I've got an opinion, Tim, as well, mate.
We'll have to see from the other side to see if Hornby has grounded the ball. He's got it in his hands now. The challenge. We'll have to go to the other side to see what happens with the ball. I think the challenge is fair, Vossi. I've got no problem with the impact. It's whether or not the ball touches the ground while it's still in his hands. He definitely had hold of it. Tick, 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 kabang. No, he's dropped it.
No,
And it's gone back, but I think a Great Britain player picked it up.
Well, on what we've been presented with so far, you'd have to say no try. He loses the ball. The challenge is fair for mine.
Absolutely. No problem with the challenge, the player coming in. It was just an unfortunate collision for Ben Hornby. No try. He hasn't grounded the football.
Is he all right?
A restart for the Great Britain side. Who
You all right, Ben?
Brian Noble will hope will have learnt of that banana reverse kick that is so prominent in our game.
Goes down as a great save by Gareth Rayner, who sprinted across from the left wing. Read the play. Mason got a shot in there on Sean Long.
Why would Sean Long be throwing the football from a restart on the 20?
Because none of his forwards wanted it. They're all on their heels at the moment. They're really struggling to keep in contact with the game. They're in the game on the scoreboard, but I don't think they believe it.
Lachlan got them outside the 30. Newton's back on for them. They'll get a penalty. This really helps. That is like a lifesaver.
Well, the Australians were very keen for the referee tonight to keep a Big Ten, Ashley Klein. They believe that in other showings under him it's been very skinny. Won't be too happy with the amount of penalties that have been awarded against him in that department.
So Great Britain find themselves 30 metres out from the Kangaroos line at 12 points all and 21.5 minutes remaining. Oodles of time. Here's Morley with it. Taken around the legs by Sivanasiva. Mason was the man over the top. Sean Long pumps it out now for Price. Gets it on for Yeoman. Held up in the tackle of Jamie Lyon. They're inside the Kangaroos 10. Price had to fire that out of dummy half. Now Peacock straightens up. Had the arms free. Gets the pass away. Newton for Long. Still 10 metres out. O'Neilly, good tackle with Sam Thaiday. 9 metres away. Great Britain. Golden chance. Newton came out to the left. He would have had to throw the pass 25 metres to find a support. Last tackle. Wellens dummy half. Back for Long. This time to the in goal. Hunt's there. Line drop out for the Kangaroos.
That's a result. It's not a try, but it's a result. Last time they tried that, Jamie Lyon was in the right spot. This time the kick was better from Long. It got into the in-goal area, and no choice for Carmichael Hunt, with the chasers pursuing, led by O'Loughlin, to bat the ball dead.
They have too many settle plays, Peter, don't they? They take a long time to set up for their plays.
Fourth tackle, Terry Newton comes to the left side of the field where he's got one supporter 30 metres away.
Yep.
That's not good enough against the calibre that they're up against tonight.
They've got to be more persistent. They've got to be attacking on every play the ball. Just taking one to set up in between attacks.
Darren Lockyer took some liberties there with a line dropout well over the goal line. Now Gareth Rayner. They creep over from time to time, but that was pretty dramatic. Great Britain outside the 20 of the Kangaroos. Newton threw the ball there for Morley.
See, this is the bloke you work off. Normally gets a pretty good quick play the ball, Adrian Morley.
Newton for Long. Out it comes for Price. Then inside they come, straight through. They've scored, Great Britain. It's the man who was down for the count, Lee Gilmore, after being steamrolled by Mark O'Malley. He's now a try scorer, and Great Britain lead by 4. Tri Nations Rugby League live on Channel 9, 16:12, and what an interesting 10 minutes for Lee Gilmore.
Well, last weekend, he almost cut Jerome Rapati in half. That was an incident not so long ago. Tonight, he has cut the Australians to shreds up the middle of the ruck, in between two defenders. One of them was O'Donnell. And the number 16, as Phil Gould has pointed out, normally plays on the back row, has been pushed wide tonight through necessity, has thrown this game wide open. Sean Long loving this. Third conversion in front. Bang.
So a St Helens double, St Helens try, St Helens goal. They lead by 6, Matthew Johns.
Right, just keep an eye on Great Britain in this next couple of sets of 6. They've done marvellously well. They lead 18-12 with 17 minutes to go. But here's the big mental test. Up against the Australian Kangaroos, they find themselves in front. Can they manufacture the composure? Can Sean Long get them home? We're going to find out a lot about this side right now.
So the restart of play. And Great Britain have got their tails up, and Hawks lost the ball. Loses the ball on tackle number 1. Jamie Lyon was up there. They lead by 6. And they hand it back to the Kangaroos.
Oh, that's costly. He tried so hard to hold on to that ball. It was just a beautiful shot. A real good tackle. And the young fella coughed it up and offers Australia the chance to level up straight away. Let's see what they got.
Out. Kangaroos win the scrum. Lockyer, Hornby, 15 metres out. Senior's been good in defence tonight.
Yeah, but with a centre out marker, they're vulnerable to that left side.
11 metres away. Smith sends them there. Kite's with it. Kite gets them inside the 10. O'Loughlin first man in. Newton there to finish off, takes the legs. And Australia will play it 5 metres out from the line. Cameron Smith. Sivanasiva flat-footed. He's taken to ground. Kangaroos trailing by 6. Now Smith. Hornby deep for Lockyer. Plenty of runners there. Carmichael Hunt on for Lyon. Defence again. Outstanding from Sean Long. Quick play the ball. Tate, Hunt, Lockyer. 15 from the line. Fireday. Senior came up. He had to. It was 3-on-1 on the outside. Last tackle, Kangaroos. Great Britain defence on Mason, outstanding. That is superb work from Great Britain with 16 to go.
They needed to go left from that play the ball. Senior had raced up and made the tackle. They were very short on their own right-hand defence. There were Australians racing across there, and inexplicably our dummy half came out to the right to Mason. He nearly got across himself, but they'd have scored for sure had they gone to their left.
Lions back in possession. Kirk Yeaman. This will be a story to tell on debut.
Big sigh of relief there from Gareth Hock, who made the mistake after the very strong Jamie Lyon hit. Wellens now helping out his forward, centre field, third tackle. Must get to the kick. That's their priority as Morley takes it up short to the left.
Tackled by Cameron Smith. Great Britain, simple set of 6 for them. Newton dashes out, links up with Rayner. Close to the sideline, tackled by Lyon. They've done well. They've got inside the Kangaroos half and long kicks. This one trying to find the gap between Inglis and Hunt. Hunt had an opportunity there to link up with his man. Gee, he was hit hard too.
The 3-match test series in Great Britain in 2003. Great Britain actually led Australia going into the last 10 minutes of all 3 games and lost all 3. Now, there's only a handful of players that remain from that time, but it's been a mental scar that Great Britain have had with Australia for a couple of decades.
Oh, Berrigan's lost the ball there, and his haste to get up and play it. He kept moving forward.
He made a meal of that, trying to play way too quick.
He kept trying to move forward and stand over the man. I'm on the referee's side here, 100%. He keeps creeping forward, loses control of the ball.
No doubt.
One round, Brett.
Willie Mason slow to the reform of the scrum. A little bit of cramp out there for the big man who slots into lock forward.
Too early for 1 point, Pete.
Arms around.
Gee, I think if Great Britain could score again, it would be huge. I'd like to keep a bit of pressure on if I was them for maybe 6 or 12 tackles. But I'd be starting to think one even this far out.
2 weeks ago,
Keep holding that 10, mate.
New Zealand got it to 15-8 with 8 to go against the Kangaroos, and they came back to score 2 tries late. Wellens now with a run for Great Britain. Newton down the blind side. Senior's with the ball. Strong charge from Keith Senior.
Great run.
Now they're 10 away from the line. Newton at 6s and 7s. He links up with a 7. Sean Long. He's across field. He finds Price now. And tackled 5 metres from the line by Mason. Newton. Sean Long gets the kick. That's strong off the boot. Oh, no.
No. That is not the play that they wanted. Not the play that they wanted. It's so hard to kick straight onto the in goal and get it to rest. You need the sideways kick.
Sean Long that time doesn't deliver. Kangaroos back with the ball. Kite goes for a run. Engel on at 2 and tackled 15 metres inside the Kangaroos half. Now Smith, Friday, revved up, ready to go in his second test. Tackled by Hock. 10 short of halfway. Kangaroos trail by 6. Hornby across. Lockyer throws the cutout ball. Beat 2. Went through the legs and over the sideline. Boy, oh boy.
Well, the one thing that Great Britain have done reasonably well as this game has gone on is backed off from Darren Lockyer when he's got the football. See there, Rayner was backing back. See a 2-on-1 developing against him, but by backing back, he nullifies it by allowing his teammates to get back with him. They have had a look at the video, Great Britain. They've improved on last week in a lot of different areas. They are in a position to win the game, but it is now more a mental battle than it is a physical one.
And Wellens with it for Great Britain. 12 minutes remaining. And the Lions lead by 6. Price links up with Senior. Price has had no numbers since half-time, if you're just tuning in. Now Roby, they come to centre field with Ellis. Hard worker tonight, the number 11 for Great Britain. That could be said of the entire back row for the Lions. They've been magnificent. Roby, Price, Long, 25 metres from the line. Yeaman runs back in field, got between 2 and they're hurt. two of the Australians in trouble. Thaiday was the first one. The other one was O'Donnell.
But again, a mistake at the end of it. He's a good young player, Kirk Yeoman.
They've got a penalty. He's ruled Australia has pushed them over in the play the ball. And here's an opportunity now to extend beyond the 6-point margin. It was a really quick play the ball. Great Britain had Australia on the back foot. Yep, and he pushes Cameron Smith. He pushes Yeoman over, which caused the confusion in the play the ball. Good decision by the referee.
A little bit of frustration there. You can see the rain falling as well around Cameron Smith. I'm not quite sure if it's the Barmy Army when it comes to rugby league, but there are plenty of rugby league supporters out here from England, and they are finding voice. Sean Long, an opportunity to put his side 8 in front going into the final 10 minutes. Nice charge here. Yeoman running between O'Donnell and Thaiday. They do liken him to Paul Newlove, who was a real fixture in the Great Britain side for a number of years.
Sterlo, the stats again. They'd won only one of the last 11, Great Britain, against the Kangaroos, and 2 of the last 15 and 6 of the last 34. Long has missed it. He's missed with a kick. 18 points to 12 with 10 remaining. Sean Long had a chance. Had a golden chance.
He just shoved it. Tried to steer it through the posts.
Has scored over 2,000 points in the Super League, Sean Long. Then he had a fumble on the 20-metre restart. And playing the ball will be Gareth Hock just inside the Kangaroos half.
Well, after missing that, I would be looking to take the point next opportunity.
Played by Wilkin. Roby. Don't ignore the role of the bench players tonight for Great Britain. Morley got upended, still offloaded. Sean Long's with it. And tackled 38 metres from the line by Cameron Smith. Roby runs and then links up with Wilkin. Tackled there by Thaiday. It would have to be the 7, you would think they will look to for the 1-pointer. Newton takes a charge.
He was pointing his forwards in that direction. He's in behind the ruck area to take the point now.
Here he is, the left footer, Sean Long off the boot. Off the boot
Missed.
from Long. He's missed to the right-hand side. Missed the penalty shot to the left. Missed the field goal to the right. And there's 9 minutes remaining.
Well, they're still at the right end of the field. Nathan Highmarsh now winds it up. Picks up 5 metres. Just a process of getting through each set of 6 without giving something away like James Roby has, going back over the tackled player.
Oh dear, here we go. How often have we seen it? Australia pull it out of the fire.
Well, 2 weeks ago, they didn't waste any time in getting the ball left towards Inglis's wing. Let's see what they do in their set. Mason takes the first one. Ran up past Morley. Tackled 35 metres from the Great Britain line. Tackle number 1. 8.5 minutes remaining. Smith with it. Dummy on to Kite. Now finds himself centre field and all alone. Taken to ground by Ellis and also Newton. They're 25 metres away. Sivanasiva. He'll get them inside the 20. That is tackle number 3. Lockyer's on the left side of the ruck. Sivanasiva called to play it. Smith gives it to his captain. Lockyer, jigs, straighten, finds his man. Tupou couldn't offload. Held by Gilmore. Lockyer, 10 metres from the line. Out it comes for Smith. Turned his back, doesn't deliver the pass, and will be called to play at 5 metres from the line. Great Britain have hung on now for 5. Big play this one, the biggest of the match at 18 points to 12. Hornby, back for Lockyer, gets the kick, came off the legs, Lockyer doesn't get to it. Peacock has dived on the loose ball.
He's offside, Peacock.
He's offside for your life.
It's play on, but he was offside.
He was a mile in front of the last Great Britain player who touched the ball.
The kick from Lockyer came off the legs. And the Lions have the ball on their own 20, leading by 6. 7 minutes remaining now. New Zealand fans watching this would be hating it. They were hoping for a Kangaroos victory.
And Andrew, with International Rugby League, a draw is a draw is a draw. So there would be a point coming Great Britain's way if they concede a converted try. Leon Price kicking out of dummy half straight down the throat of Carmichael Hunt.
Hunt returns, tries to step on. Price almost got through. And you'll see them lock horns again in 2 weeks' time. Great Britain and Australia live on Channel 9. Exclusive 7:30. Make a date for that one from Brisbane. Penalty here to the Kangaroos.
The only game that will be golden point in this Tri-Nations would be the final. As Darren Lockyer settles play down, finds touch, 30 out. 6 full tackles up their sleeve, trailing by 6.
Lyon took the tap. Finds Sivanasiva. Sivanasiva ran at John Wilkin. Kangaroos at 28 metres from the line, remembering Sean Long missed a kick to give them an 8-point lead, Great Britain. Hindmarsh will play, 20 metres out. Smith, Mason with it from a standing start, comes across field, thrown down by Newton and Peacock. 15 from the line. Cameron Smith, lined out deep to the left. Lockyer brings Carmichael Hunt in. Pass goes along the ground. Inglis has knocked it back and then over the sideline. It is a tough night in the office for the coach. He's knocked over the sideline by Great Britain.
Well, what he's ruled is that Inglis has knocked the ball back and then it's been played at by Great Britain to force it in touch.
I think Leon Price went over the top.
I thought the pass was forward anyway.
Terry, arms around.
Yeah, fair enough. He no need to play at the ball.
So Australia have possession. Lockyer's with it across the 20. Links up with Lyon. Takes on his outside. Great tackle by Sean Long. 5 minutes remaining. Lockyer with the ball to centre field. Berrigan. He's held in the tackle of Wilkin. The callers go left. They come right for Lockyer. Needed Hindmarsh and Lockyer. Creamed in the tackle of Morley. Great stuff. Tate. Smith. 15 out. Mason with it. He's got the socks down. Out it comes Berrigan. Away for Inglis. If there's any man who could manufacture a try, it's the bloke on the left wing. Kangaroos still in possession. Mason. Sivanasiva tries a step of his own. Pass on the deck. Kick through by Long. He'll come up with it. Sean Long's away. Hornby chases. Now needs support. Links up with Roby. Chased down by Hindmarsh. Incredible.
Wonderful from both teams.
Great Britain with a chance to put them to the sword, absolutely. Wellens with it. Yeaman now. The supporters there. And Rayner goes over. Head off to Blackpool. They've got up there. Great Britain have won this test. 22 points to 12. What a night of Test Rugby League here, live on Channel 9, 22 to 12. What did you make of this play, Sterling?
Well, it is the biggest play of the night from Sean Long, and what a great game he's had. Certainly the best game we've seen from him at international level. Nathan Hindmarsh rounds up the hooker. And then Great Britain, they don't panic. They do exactly the right thing. Catch and pass, the whole connection. Yeaman onto Rayner to wrap it up. But it came from the good defence on their own line. They forced the mistake. They forced a number of mistakes from the Australian back line tonight. And Brian Noble has done a great job in preparing his football team for this one.
There he is, the Great Britain coach, chewing the gum, Brian Noble. What a triumph. They last won here in Sydney back in 1988. Their last win in Australia was 1992. And Rayner was so keen, he was almost running in front of Yeaman. On another day, you might even call the last pass forward. But I'm not about to deny Great Britain their moment. The kick from Long. Long's kick hits the upright. 22 to 12, with just over 2 minutes remaining. You've seen miracles happen before from the Kangaroos. It's not going to happen tonight. The Tri-Nation series is wide open. Now Lockyer takes the short kick-off. Price is there. Price wraps up the ball, wraps it in barbed wire and retains possession. 10 points the margin. When they won in 88, they won by 14. It was 26 to 12. History may repeat here tonight. The Lions on the charge. 35 metres out. Roby will get into dummy half on the slow play. The ball from Newton. Roby, Wellens, quick hands O'Loughlin, fingertips of Rayner, keeps it alive, back for Wellens, comes to centre field, and tackled by Hindmarsh, who makes his 33rd for the night. That most definitely the highest of any of the players out there. Peacock, good charge again. Captain has been strong tonight. Last tackle now, Great Britain. They go back for long. This time the field goal. No pressure on him. And Sean Long, the number 7, he dots the I's, he crosses the T's, and takes the score to 23-12. They set it up beautifully. The left foot struck that one sweetly, and probably feels he owed him that one. But Sean Long has really stood up tonight for his team, and this is quite stunning. Since 1980, Great Britain had won only 6 of the last 34 clashes. As Lockyer decides to go deep this time, 23-12. This ensures a full house in 2 weeks' time. You'll see it live on Channel 9, but those in Brisbane get along to the game when Great Britain play Australia again. Kicked over the sideline, and there you have it. What a moment in Test Rugby League here in Sydney. Great Britain have done it. The rank outsiders have won by 23 points to 12.